shit, bruh. She ain't got no speed. One day it's gonna be fast, I promise you. This little pickup truck, one day it's gonna be fast. Fast as shit. With the 5.0 Coyote, the Gen 3 version, a Gen 3 Whipple. We're probably gonna spray little 150 shot, 10 already transmission, or maybe we might even go for the TH400. Go crazy. Lowered on QA1 suspension, race red, repaint the whole truck all over, make up the whole everything right, make it look pretty on the outside. Possibly even, actually no, just leave it two-wheel drive. I'll get the other one for 4x4. But today's drive talk. I'm on the way home after work. Empty road. Oh shoot. That's enough. I said empty road. But I'm out here just. You hear that? Beautiful sound of the V8. One day I'm gonna have a V10. One day I'm gonna have a V2. One day I'm gonna have in my garage a V10, a V12, WV16, the Koenigsegg, the 4.8 twin turbo. But right now I'm happy with my 5.4 Triton, right? You hear that shit? Sounds beautiful. It's alive. But alright, that's not the point of today's drive talk. Metallica's out here got me pumped. I got a hit leg day today. Yesterday I went over the trades, which was the USD CAD longs, the UJ longs that I took the L, and then both of the GU position shorts. But today, similar to last Saturday, I don't even know if I mentioned it was Saturday, coming up to work Saturday, about to get home. I'm gonna get home, work out, hit leg day. Today I got a hit leg day. I'll record it. I'll put it after the drive talk. And I'm gonna go over. I gotta do some tomorrow, so I'll do 3. I think I did 3 the last Saturday, which was 3 weekly chart ups, which is gonna be go over 3 charts. See what we got up for looking for next week, right? The weekly chart up for next. The video cut off, but we're gonna get I'm gonna do it after we're gonna go over 3 weekly chart ups. I'm talking out of I can't even speak today. What the fuck? I just want to jam to the songs, to be honest, but I have to do this, right? Even if I don't want to record videos. I don't like recording this, but I have to do it, right? It's a documentary. It's recording the history, and I mean, it's not even just me, the one that's gonna be watching these videos later on. Well, obviously, I'm gonna come back to these videos in 1, 2, 3, 4 years, obviously even more. But my kids, my family, friends. Well, it's kind of cringy if you guys are watching all this right now. But mainly they're for me and to keep track, right? But they're to keep history, right? But today we're gonna hit the leg day. I hit yesterday. I hit back. Well, I mean, you guys know exactly what I hit yesterday. But today, I'm gonna hit freaking legs. See? I hate fucking recording myself. There was a fucking pickup truck right next to me, and I literally put the phone down. I'm not a YouTuber. I do not like this shit. I'm not these type of motherfuckers that wants to be a YouTuber and make money from this shit. I don't want to. I make money on the charge. I make money on the businesses I'm gonna make money from my real estate properties, from my assets, from my freaking towing transport, Young Brothers. All of this shit that I'm going to build. Not from fucking YouTube. I could give a shit, right? But the main thing obviously right now is trading, right? But we're gonna go over that right now. I'm already about to get home. Peace and love to anybody watching this. Well, this is not the end, but this is the end for me. And let's go into the video, into leg workout. Peace and love.
Practice early. So they're the ones taking the extra shots. They're the ones doing the wind sprints at the end. They're the ones, getting treatment, taking care of the body. They're showing up on the off days. You gotta go home. You gotta tell them to leave. You don't have to tell them to show off. You gotta tell them to leave. That's enough. You have people in your office. And you look at it. How many employees do you have now?
We got 4,200 agents.
4,200 agents. Okay, out of 4,200 agents. Okay, if you put them all in the room, okay, and you were able to put them all in one shot together, all right, and say your hours were 9 to 5, okay, you'd have 4,200 people in here from 9 to 5 o'clock. From 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, you may have 500. After 7 o'clock, you may have 200. After 9 o'clock, you may have 5. And then guess what? At the end of the day, there's gonna be one light left on. Maybe 2, yours and somebody else's. That person's as fucked up as you are. Okay. But you can count on that individual. You can count on that individual.
Tell me, first time with MJ. So what happened there? So how did you connect with MJ? How did you get to the point where MJ?
This is how it originally started. So I sent letters out to everybody in the Chicago Bulls organization, all the players. But you have to be a historian of basketball to really know this, and you may not even know this because of your age. There was a player on the team named Brad Sellers, little skinny kid, 6'11", out of Ohio State. So I was like, okay, he's got some talent. Need some help physically. Maybe I can target him. So I sent letters to all the Bulls players except Michael.
Why'd you do that?
I'm a young kid. He doesn't need any help. He's a better. He's going to be great. He's going to be all right. I get one phone call back. This response. There you go. The best of the best wanted to get even better.
So the guy who didn't get the letter.
The guy who didn't get the letter went and looked into went and got it out of somebody else's locker, and told the athletic trainer and the team doctor at the time, talk to this guy. Talk to him. So I met with the athletic trainer, who was Mark File at the time. I met with the team doctor, who was Dr. John Heffron at the time. Long interview process. They asked me all the questions, from a medical standpoint, from a training standpoint, to know if I knew what I was talking about. And I had to do the process again, and I had to do the process again. Then I get a phone call, and they said, hey, Michael wants to meet you after practice.
And you still haven't met Michael.
I still have not met Michael. Okay, so this is in December of 1989.
This is when Pippen first comes. Yes, Pippen came 88.
Yes, so December.
Grant came 89.
December. I think Pippen and Grant came the same year. If I remember.
They did, because he used to party together.
Yeah.
That's right.
So in '89, in December, they tell me Michael wants to meet you after practice at his house. So I go to his house. All right, I pull up over there and I look down on my shoes. I'm wearing Converse. Everybody knows Michael's Air Jordan. It's the iconic Jumpman logo. I'm like, man, I can't go in this house wearing Converse. But I remember this is December in Chicago. It gets kind of cold.
Yep.
All right, so I take off the shoes. I got holes in my socks. I'm like, oh. So I can't have this guy. So I take off my socks too. I knock on the door. He opens up the door. And the first thing he looks down, he goes, I said, Michael, hey, real clean house. I want to take off my shoes and socks. I'm gonna leave them out here. He said, okay. So I come in. He says, introduce myself to him, tell my background, tell him what I've studied and so forth. And he goes, all right, how can you help me? And I go through all the process of how he's had these nagging injuries and why he's had these things and what we can do to alleviate these things and help him, feel better and be allowed to perform at a higher level. And he goes, this just sounds too good. I said, no. I said, this is actually, I can lay this out pretty much. I said, I can tell you how you're going to feel in 24 hours, how you're going to feel in 48, 72. This is exactly what's going to happen. Right? And
are you guys the same age? Are you?
We're pretty close. I think how you deal with it. Are you going to fight through it, or are you going to curl up and just roll over into the corner? It's going to pretty much determine how the rest of your development from a mental standpoint is going to carry. People talk about this. People talk about this all the time. Losing builds character. Okay, how much fucking character do you need? Seriously, all right. You want to keep losing. Hey, listen, I'd rather have a person win who has a little bit of character. Yeah. Okay, who's a little nuts, and a person that loses all the time and has got great character. At some point, you got to start winning. You can't always look for other people to help you. Other people got their own problems. They got their own shit they got to deal with. They're trying to achieve their own goals. They are willing to assist, but after a while, okay, if you constantly looking for a system, constantly looking for help, it's on you. Your failure and your success is on you.
And isn't that great? Because you have control if you think about it that way. I mean, if it's external, you can't control external. If it's internal, you can control all the internal. So, Tim, how about I cover some of these 13 of how cleaners think, and then so we can kind of address this. So here's what you got. Cleaners, you keep pushing yourself harder when everybody else has had enough. One. You get into the zone, you shut out everything else, you control the uncontrollable.
That's all about clarity.
Clear.
All about clarity. Okay. The zone is about clarity. That's all it is. It's about the individuals that can block everything out, that can not only see. Okay, so you know what? You hear this about how many times did you watch sports and they said the person's thinking too much? Stop thinking. Yep. Stop thinking. Just go out and play. Well, what happens when you tell an individual to stop thinking? What's the first thing they do? They start thinking. Yep. Exactly. Do you know how many hours and years of preparation go into not being able to not to think about something? Right. It takes years and years and years of doing the same fucking thing over and over and over again. Okay.
Why learn how not to think?
Not to think.
Wow.
To be able to take a reaction and turn it into a reflex. That's what the greatest can do. Most people react to things. Okay. The greatest, it's an instinct. It's impulsive. It's innate. It becomes a reflex. When we talk about this, listen, trust your instincts. That's what closers do. You know what cleaners do? Their instincts trust them. I got this. I'll give you a great example about that, and we'll pick up the other thing. All right. Doug Collins, coach of the Bulls, is drawing up this play. Okay, last second play, he's drawing. It's a Cleveland play, the one he beat Elo, right? Yep. So he's drawing up this play, all this other stuff. He's already raises it. Michael turns around and said, "Hey, give me the ball, get the fuck out the way."
In the time.
Yeah, after the time, before Doug goes, "Give me the ball, get the fuck out the way." Okay. That's the don't think. Okay, that's the point where, hey, listen, my instincts trust me. Give me the ball, just get the hell out of the way. I'm winning this game. I'm winning this game. But that game-winning shot wasn't made there. It was made many years before, in the dark gym by himself with somebody rebounding the ball, whether it was me or somebody else, shooting that same shot over and over and over and over again. Saying, no, if I get to this spot, I don't care if there's 10 hands in front of me. If I get to this spot, the shot's going in because I've done it over and over again.
And we see it over and over again on commercials now, everywhere.
That's clear.
Yeah, clarity. Obviously, he had it at the highest level. Okay, so the third one, you know exactly who you are.
You know exactly who you are. Okay, the key with the key that what the greatest do, you know what becomes their best friend? Distance. Distance becomes their best friend. Distance. Distance from their competition. Okay. Distance from others. Okay. Distance from their family. Okay. Distance from their friends. Okay. You have all these individuals that hang out together. Okay. We idolize individuals. Okay. Everyone tries to fit in a group. Okay. You're growing up. I want to be part of this fraternity. I want to hang out with these people. I want to hang out over here. Who do you idolize the most? The ones that stand alone. The ones that create distance between you and the competition and everybody else. Okay. You have all your friends. They may have all started out together. And what happens is when they know they can't keep up, okay, you create distance. Okay. You want them to come with you, but they don't have the ability to. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the sacrifice. So distance has to become your best friend in order for you to achieve the best at what you want to do. I know these are completely different thoughts than what other people tell you. Surround yourself with positive people. You know what that means? That means lie to my fucking face so I can feel good about myself. That's what that means. Okay, you need to surround yourself with people that tell you the fucking truth. When you're fucking up, they tell you you're fucking up. You made a bad decision. Now, when you say you made a bad decision, now you got to go fix it.
So now somebody says that to you. If this guy walks away and he's hurt and he's sensitive, then what do you do?
You know what? I wait to see if. Well, first of all, those are the individuals I won't even work with.
There you go. So
okay.
That's a filtering process for you.
It's a filter.
So if a guy can't handle you pushing him and giving you pressure, this is a filter for you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? And that's why in the category we talk about 3 different categories. You talk about your coolers,
right.
You talk about your closers, and you talk about your cleaners. Now, this is where you got to be very careful of. You need all 3 in your company, your business, and your sports in order to succeed. If you only have one group of individuals, you're never going to make it. Okay. But the thing you got to understand is you might have a cooler who's a cooler at work who comes in, does what their expectations are low, they do what they're supposed to do, they leave during hours, but they might be a cleaner in something else. Okay. They might be a cleaner in raising money for a charity, taking care of their kids, whatever it may be. So now when you try, but you see a different potential in them, and you're trying to say, hey, you know what, man, if this person would work just a little harder, they can make so much more money. So, and you're thinking in your mind, I want to help this individual, I want to push them, and this is what, but that's not what they want to do. That's not where their cleaner status
is. Many people struggle with that, by the way, because you're hoping the person you like the most wants that status to you.
Right.
It's rarely the case.
And exactly, and that's why, we go back to what I said about your obligation. Okay, people have different obligations themselves. Okay, we talk about can you be a cleaner in multiple things? No, you need a cleaner in one thing. Now you can surround yourself.
When he went to baseball.
Okay, I didn't tell him he could do it. Okay, we're gonna do whatever we can to make you as successful as possible. Now, there was a baseball strike that happened during that year. They wanted him to cross the line. This is nothing new. This is public information. He wouldn't cross the picket line. Right now, was he as successful as we wanted him to be? No, but to take an individual who wanted to try something and knew the scrutiny that was going to follow it, and the individuals just to have the mental aptitude to push himself and continue the same work ethic that he took in basketball, he took in baseball. Now, you know what they say, the hardest thing in professional sports
no problem.
is to do what you do. Do what you do. So when I got with MJ, I did what I said. This is what I do. Now, do I know about the game of basketball? Yes, I do know about the game. As much as he does, no. But that's where my learning process comes in. He's going to learn from me. I'm going to learn from him. He said, let's try this out. So I give you 30 days. That 30 days turned into 15 years.
15 years he stays with
15, and that's key there, because a lot of individuals now, okay, especially in this generation, not only from a training standpoint, but from a knowledge standpoint, they're jumping from one thing to another. Yeah. They're using this trainer this week, they're using another trainer next week, they're using this person as a mentor on YouTube, and they're using this person over here, okay, and they're getting all this conflicting information, okay? You gotta master what you're going to master. Okay, you have to figure it out. Too many people are jumping from place to place to place. Michael, Kobe, all these individuals, they mastered one aspect of the game. When they mastered that aspect of the game, then they move to another aspect of the game. How many individuals you have? Hundreds of thousands of people following. Mm-hmm. Okay, you put content out on a regular basis, and what do people always ask? They want more content. They want more content. They can't remember what the fuck you said 2 days ago.
That's right.
Okay, and they're already on to the next lesson. You got to master that stuff first.
That's such a message I'm aligned with. I mean, I'm 100% aligned with that message. So he stays with you for 50. He keeps you for 50.
I did basketball. I did the retirement. I did baseball. I did basketball.
You did all of it.
I did all of it.
So he had a deal with you. He said what? He said he wanted you. He hired you, but there was one rule: you couldn't train anybody else.
It was the thing. MJ used to say, he goes, man, I don't pay you to train me. I pay you not to train anybody else. Okay. Now, for the first 3 years I was with him, he didn't allow me to train anybody else.
3 years.
3 years. So you can't work.
That's what 89, 90, 91.
Yeah. So you can't work with anybody. You can't work with anybody else. Then after that, during the off season when it wasn't our time, he allowed me to pick up some of.
Did you pick up anybody from the Pistons? Were you with anyone from the Pistons? Was some of his main guys?
No, I mean most of the guys I picked up were local Chicago guys. I mean he brought Scotty on board. He brought Ron Harper on board.
Sure.
I trained the local guys from Chicago like Nick Anderson.
Did Nick Anderson play? He played Orlando.
He played in Orlando. Kendall Gill. These were all Illinois guys.
Yeah.
These were all Chicago guys that were where Chicago was home. So I was working with those individuals. But the deal I had with those guys, I said, listen, when the boss calls, and I've only had one boss, the only person I've ever called boss. So when he calls, I gotta go. As long as you guys have that understanding, we're good. And I told him, I said, you guys would not be working out with me if it wasn't for him.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
So let me ask this, because I want to set the tone first. So from there, we can go into some of the other items. In the book Relentless, you talk about the 3 levels, right?
Yeah.
You talk about the cooler, the closer, the cleaner. Before I cover the 13 points here, if you had to break it down simply, what would the difference between the 3 be?
Listen, the cooler is an individual that's good at what they do. Okay, you give them a job to do, they get the job done. The results are what you expect. There's nothing great.
Yep.
It's nothing exceptional. It's adequate. You have a closer. A closer is an individual that gives you those exceptional results as long as you give them a game plan and as long as too many variables are thrown at them. Okay. Then you have the cleaner. The cleaner is going to get you that end result over and over again. And this is key. Elevate everybody around him. He or she is going to raise their game. And he's going to deliver that result numerous times. Not just one. No matter what's thrown at them. No matter what variable is thrown at them. Individuals that it's never enough. It's never enough. Okay. People always say, you gotta love the work. Okay? You gotta love what you do. You don't have to love what you do. You gotta be fucking addicted to what you do. Okay. You gotta be addicted to winning. Just like failure is an addiction, winning is an addiction. But guess what? You cannot win. You have to trade one addiction for the other. So if you're constantly losing, you got to trade that addiction for winning. But here's the problem. When you trade one addiction, guess what? Then you got to trade another addiction. Then you got to trade another addiction. You got to trade another one. Okay? You cannot work short hours. You got to work long hours. You hear people, oh, here's one for you. I love this one. It fucking drives me crazy. Okay? This one drives me fucking crazy. Okay? You got to work smarter, not harder. You got to work smarter and you got to work fucking harder. You got to fucking do both. Okay? You cannot do one. They work together. You got to work smarter and you got to work harder. You're telling me, okay, to work smarter, but to work less? No, that's not going to happen. You're going to tell me, I'm going to tell one of my athletes, okay, that, hey, listen, you know what? You only need to practice 4 hours a week. You're like, are you fucking crazy? It's not going to happen. Okay? Now, you need to tell me how to be more effective in what I'm doing.
That's the smarter side.
Okay? That's the smarter side. But you're not going to tell me I got to work less.
How obsessive of a worker was MJ and Kobe?
If I could think of another word than obsessive, put that on there. Wow. You have to be obsessive. You have to be obsessive. You have to be addicted. You have to be disciplined. Okay? The key there is you. Everyone else is looking for other individuals to do stuff for you. Stop looking for fucking help from everybody else. Okay? It starts and it ends with you. Your identity starts and ends with you. Nobody else has changed their identity. Okay? You change your fucking identity. All right? And you're the only individual that can change it back. You know, they talk about success. Oh, you become successful. I bet you get this one all the time. No, you've changed. You've changed. No, you haven't changed. Everybody else around you has changed. All success is magnified who you really are. Okay? If you're a fucking prick when you had no money, you're a bigger prick when you have money. Okay? If you're charitable when you didn't have money, you're gonna be more charitable when you have money. Okay? It's the other individuals around you, okay, who didn't see the work that you put in, the time and effort, the dedication, the hours that nobody else saw here, the sacrifices, missing your kids' events. Not because you want to. Nobody wants to miss it. Nobody wants to miss any of their kids' performances, sports games, or so forth. Okay? But it happens. It does happen. You try to limit it as much as possible. We'll get in this later on, and about balance. That's one of my big things. Everyone talks about balance. You know how I feel about balance.
We'll get to that. Next one is a favorite. This one is one that when you read the book, you're like, wait a minute, what's he talking about here? You have a dark side that refuses to be taught to be good.
Everybody's got a dark side. Whether you want to admit it or not. Everybody's got one. It's the individuals that can tap that dark side. Okay, that know how to use it, that know how to control it. Everyone talks about dark side as it being bad. It's not about being bad. It's about something that's unique to you. Okay, it's what fuels you. It's what your desires. It's your ego. It's your fucking greed. It makes you separate. It's what lights your fire. Instead of having somebody else light your fire, the dark side keeps your fire. Too much high fives and all that shit going on when you haven't earned it. Okay, you go to these seminars. You go to, hey, turn around, give the person next to you a pat on the back, give him a high five, give him a hug. When I come from, you gotta earn your fucking high fives. Okay? You gotta earn your accolades. You gotta earn your hug. Right? This isn't about participation trophies. You don't get rewarded for participating. You don't get rewarded for participating in life. I got passion and I got inner drive. You got a person that you come into your office. Have you ever given anybody a raise because their results suck, but they got great passion in their drive? No. Passion in the drive has to be followed by an action. You have to have an action that follows it. And that's the hardest part. People don't want to have that action. Everyone talks about, man, they got all these dreams dancing in their head. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Guess what? Dreams want to live just like everybody else. And if you don't bring them to life, somebody else will. You're going to jump from your head right into somebody else's head. And that person's going to bring those dreams to life. And you're going to be sitting there back thinking, man, I could have, I should have, I would have. Well, you had your chance. You got to deliver. You got to have action. You got to deliver.
I like that. 3 more left we got here. You make decisions, not suggestions. You know the answer while everyone else is asking questions.
People, the reason they don't want to make decisions because then you got to answer the hard questions. It's easy to make a suggestion because that way you can also, well, it was just a suggestion. Or you can put it on somebody else. But when it's a decision, you got to answer the hard questions. You have to answer the hard questions. Okay. The thing about when you talk about decisions and so forth, the one thing I tell people, everyone else says, you got to smooth things out. You got to do this. But I'll tell you what, there is nothing smooth about me. Not the way I walk, not the way I talk, not the way I handle my athletes. Okay, there's nothing smooth about the way I do things. Okay? I'm not that soft side of the sponge. I'm that other side of the sponge that you know when you got to scrape the dirt off of it and you got to get the grease out. That's what I do. Those are those individuals. You know, everyone, I want to set the world on fire. Well, guess what? If you set the world on fire, you better learn how to fucking put that fire out. You better learn how to put that fire out.
You don't have to love the work, but you're addicted to the result.
And we talked about this a little bit earlier. Everyone talks about, man, you name one individual. We have quite a few individuals in this room right now that you and I are talking. You're going to sit here and tell me this, that you love everything about your job. Every single day. No, you don't love everything about your job. There's certain things that you just, people love the long hours. No, people want to, getting up the phone calls. Do I like having to watch a game at 3 o'clock in the morning? But no, I have to be prepared because I'm addicted to the result. I'm addicted to the result. Okay? And when you're addicted to the result, you rather have unique individuals that are around you, okay, that are there to educate you, not entertain you. And the biggest fall of an athlete is when they surround themselves with individuals that entertain them, and those are your yes people, instead of individuals that educate you. Surround yourself with people that are going to educate you. That's what I do to my athletes. That's what the athletes do to me. You know, when I've crossed over to different sports, I've had to learn the nuances of, you know, what a quarterback has to go through, what a, you know, baseball, right field or a hitter. So those individuals, I don't want them to entertain me with jokes and, you know, their entourage and so forth. Okay, the majority of my guys don't have entourages because they keep their inner circle small. I want them to educate me just like I'm educating them.
Powerful.
Yo, hello ladies and gentlemen, good night to anybody watching this, or good evening, or good morning, whatever it is wherever you're at. Like I said earlier in the drive talk, I mentioned that I was gonna go over today's the weekly markups of today. So it was GU, which says it was literally the last one I did, which we're gonna go over right now. But then it was, before GU was AJ, and before AJ I believe it was USD CAD, and before USD CAD was UJ. Today started at 7:31. Barely 21. Oh, sorry, that better be 10. 21:40. We ended at 21:40. It's 2 hours to weekly chart up everything. Diabolical, but shout out biz. But still gonna go over the trade and the weekly chart. What I'm looking for GBP USD for this week. GBP USD. I don't know. Let me upload it. Hopefully you guys can hear me, right? I also don't want to wake up my mom or anybody in the house. But we could go to the monthly on GBP USD. We could see what overall bullish above key level at 120. Bullish trend respecting. I mentioned something about the bullish trend. Yep, monthly bullish trend above 120. You can pause it and read it if you want. Pause it and read it. Price broke above strong supply at 131,500. And right now this is on the monthly. The monthly closes out in 1 day and 17 hours. So right now we're in October closes. When October opens, if this candle can close bullish like this, price can definitely continue all the way to the upside at 142. So that's long term bullish. Now we hop into the weekly. Weekly, we have a nice weekly bullish engulfing candle as well. And you look at the daily. Daily, we have previous supply here. I just literally just peeped it right now. We could possibly even have another test here. And the test might not even come all the way over here. It might come here. Because obviously we had previous demand, previous supply and demand here. Previous supply here to the downside, previous demand here to the upside. So now price can sell to here, and then which is 132,600 possible. And the video cut off, but like I said, possible trade right here at 132,600. If price can melt from here, right? I mean, right now it's fading to break highs at 134,300. We'll hop into the 4 hour. You can see this in the 4 hour. Price fading to break highs right now. Obviously, we have not gotten. I mean, this was a fat bearish engulfing candle, but look what price did, and then it should have melted here, but look at what it did after. So maybe something like this, possibly higher low, lower high below, but even then, I just wait for the buys. I mean, we're over at bullish. I'm just waiting for the buy setup instead. I'll wait for this for buys or break above for buys. So let me remove this because I'm not selling, at least not yet. Well, actually, yes. Only sell if it breaks break low. 131,500. Only below 131,500. Solid GU. The last other trade was AJ. I said I was only gonna do 3, but I did an extra one because you always gotta do extra. Monthly time frame tested and rejected. So on the monthly we're bullish. Overall, actually, AJ is actually a good trade. And I have it over here. Look at this. So it looks good on the daily. It looks good on the weekly. And it looks good on the monthly. Obviously on the monthly we had this strong ass test right here, previous supply. And it's currently testing it. So now we zoom in a little bit. And then you zoom in after the test at 108. What do we have? Huge bearish engulfing candle, engulfing 1, 2. Well, yeah, only 2 candles. But what did it do after? It melted all the way to the downside at 90, and it left this huge ass wick. This is on the monthly. It left this huge wick, and there's still buyers in this market right here. So price can literally still come and take them out. And give the full test at 88 that I was looking for, right? Because 88 is a strong supply and demand zone as well on the monthly. So now we hop into the weekly. On the weekly, so the monthly is bearish, the weekly is bearish turning bullish, obviously because here we failed to break lows. Now we have a weekly bullish engulfing candle, and then we hop into the daily. Look at this, because on the weekly this is what you would want. You would want the candle to close above. You would want something like this. And obviously it's not, price is not there yet. You would want something like that. Now we cut off again. But like I said, you would want something like this. Price for to close above above 99,800 to continue buys above 108. But obviously hasn't done that right now. It's weakening. Now we're going to the daily. The daily, you can see previous daily supply that gave us actually a nice push to the downside is being respected. It gave us 600 pips to the downside, 500 pips. And right now it's tested. As you can see, look at the wick. Huge failure to break above. If we would have gotten that bullish engulfing candle, it would have been something else. And look on the daily. I mean on the when the market opens, we're gonna see if this candle is gonna bearish engulf like this, or if it's gonna fake out. If it bearish engulf like this, for sure sells to continue all the way to 93,900 for sure. On the 4 hour, no, and then look at this 4 hour bearish engulfing candle. So we're looking at something like this on the daily, maybe something another H4 engulfing candle right here. That'll be just confirming it. the sells all the way to the downside for AJ. And the trade after AJ was USD CAD. USD CAD. Here we go. So USD CAD was overall bearish. Bearish consolidation. You can see price consolidating between 132 and 136. No, between 132 and 139. Right, and at 139 we tested, and we bearish engulfed below it. After the test, bearish engulfing three previous monthly candles. And then we go to the weekly. You can see on the weekly we also had a bearish engulfing candle below, and we created a lower high below it. But right now prices tested this zone right here, which is 134,500, and it's wicking as well. Very similar, like, because obviously the month is about to close, so all of this is like indecisive candles, because obviously the month is about to close. But if you just look at this, we're still bearish on the weekly. So now we hop on the daily. Daily is turning bullish, right? But I would not buy at least higher time frame till we either get a trade above here, bullish engulfing, to continue to the upside, because I was already in buys, right? Or unless price, I mean, look at this H4 engulfing candle, price can do something like this, give us a nice little retracement and the continuation, because the video cut off again, but I was already in buys somewhere around here based off the test at 134,500, right, at the rejection, and obviously these candles. But if price can give us something like this, retest back into the supply and demand zone and give us a higher low above it, I'll be looking for an entry all the way to 136 to carry the trade, the longs, possibly even all the way to this higher. So that was UJ. Now we got, no, that was USD CAD. Now we got to go to UJ, which I believe is this one. You can see UJ is bearish again. On the monthly, we tested very similar to AJ. We tested this zone right here, which is, we tested this zone right here, which is 161, previous strong supply. And after we tested it, look at that, bearish engulfing candle, bearish engulfing two previous monthly candles, right? And obviously right now we're at strong daily, strong monthly demand zone. Look at this, and we're currently rejecting. So obviously again, if the monthly could close below, more sells. If it wicks, it possibly could turn around, right? The dollar could possibly turn around, but we're gonna see the close, which is gonna happen very, very, very soon, like in 1 or 2 days. Well, I mean, it's 28th. I think this month closes. Yeah, it closes in 2 more days. So we're gonna see. Now we hop into the weekly. Weekly still bearish, obviously. Something I would like to see is for price to, obviously, even then you'd be into sales. Obviously, where was the sell entry for this trade? Somewhere like around here. Well, actually, I'd still be in sales. So possible entry maybe. Something like this. The price can continue to just for the and actually secure first at 141, because price could even retrace here, because obviously look at this strong push that it did here. It could do the same again here, and we already have targets. But actually UJ is looking good, and we're obviously at a strong, very, very strong level right now. Look at this strong ass push to the upside. It was already the strong push to the upside, and if it doesn't give us a strong push to the upside, guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna give us a strong push to the downside. So definitely watching UJ, at least at this setup. Peace and love to anybody watching this. Oh shit, what the fuck, creepy ass fucking face.